How about now? There we go.
We've got some
audio now. Hey guys! It's a little bit weird every time when I'm streaming from the road and I've got to do everything all again on one screen with different hardware. Today, as you can see, although can you? Because I think we're coming through pixelated. We're on Meg's HD camera. Oh, yep, see that? We did the autofocus thing. Wow. Shall we start that again? Look at my face. Oh, sorry, I just looked at YouTube. I'm confused. Hi, Megs.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, guys. We're in the same place in the country. Yeah, we'll just start this again. What's up? How y'all doing out there? Thanks for coming to join us, hang out. Yes, we're running late. We got caught in Wellington traffic on the other side of the Hayward, so about 40 minutes away.
Yes, good old peak traffic. Yay.
The joy of being deaf. I can read lips, just not New Zealanders' lips. Good on you, Yeti. Love you, honey. That's beautiful. So yeah, we got caught in traffic, so hence why we had a later start time, and then hence why we're actually running late in general. Traffic. It was mental, but we were on a little adventure. We were on a little investigation. So yeah, that's been funny. Oh look, we're getting sun. We're suddenly exposed, overexposed. Okay. Let me know if I suddenly like completely white out on you guys, and we'll shift that exposure. Right. Can you hear us now? Yay! It's still quiet. Really?
Oh, Lily.
Really, Lemmy? Mic settings right up, darling. So, yeah. Okay. How are you?
So, I thought you were going to carry on with our little adventure.
Yeah.
But, okay, how am I doing? I'm doing all right. What about yourself? So how are you doing?
Oh, that's such a loaded question right now. So those of you that joined us last week, we're going to come back to our adventure story, but those of you that joined us last week are aware of Wellington Vape Day that's just been, and some drama, apparently about myself that I had nothing to do with. Yeah, it's been a very interesting week, to say the least. It's been a very drama-filled week. I am lacking a little bit in the love for my community right now. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. There's so much been going on in the background. It's been a very loaded week of drama, to be quite honest, and it has been wearing me down. That's how I'm doing. That's, like I say, that's a loaded question. Yeah. I hope everyone out there is doing well. I just want to do some shout outs before we start getting into like real ramble, because as you guys can see from the title of today's show, we're just hanging, we're chilling together. So we're just gonna like ramble and talk our shit. So
yeah, we're just going to talk about stuff that's been happening since Mox has been in Wellington, and yeah, I'll probably talk a wee bit about Wellington Vape Day. Yeah, despite the fact that my Batman couldn't attend with me, which really sucked. Yeah, I attended the Vape Day. So we'll be talking about that a little bit. And today, Mox and I went and visited a what would you describe them as? I wouldn't quite describe them as a vape shop.
They're not a vape shop. They just happen to sell vape things.
Yeah.
Effectively, for the Americans out in chat, they're a head shop. They sell bongs, they sell grinders, they sell scales, they sell pipes, they sell accessories. You can also purchase herberizers there. The herb vaporizers, dry herb vaporizers. And they just happen to stock shisha products also, and the hookahs and what have you. And then there's a section on a middle ground sort of vape products, and then e-liquid. But I would call them a head shop minus the actual selling of the herb. Just to put it in context for the Americans out there watching us, and so that you guys have some sort of inkling about this place. Now, just pause on that. Shout outs to Andrew, Jackie, Jeff, Justin, Lemmy, Church, Penelope, Reese, Sean, Bruno. Haha, I said your real name. Tommy, Vince, and Yeti. Those are the crew that I can see hanging active right now. Love you guys. Thank you for joining and chilling with us girls as we run late. Always for another week. Okay, so we shall start. Shall we start with today's adventure? Shall we start with last week?
We'll start with today's adventure, eh?
We'll go
backwards. And we'll go backwards.
Okay. Today's adventure, shosha. So, what day was it? Tuesday? Monday, Tuesday? We found a shosha shop. Now this is a name of the franchise. So all of their shops across the country are called the same thing. Like I stated, they stock all of those varying products, and they are one of two type franchises in New Zealand that are, for want of better words, the mainstream of trying to get people off smokes, or there as an avenue for those products, I should say. But they're on general, and I'm going to generalize here, on general, overpriced and uneducated staff. So we went to see the inside of a shosha shop. I'm sorry, Sean, no video. We actually had a really good time.
Yeah, this particular shosha, like here in Wellington, we have two shosha shops. One in the Wellington CBD, so right in the central business district of Wellington. There's one there, and there's one in Lower Hutt. So the one in Lower Hutt is the one that Mox and I decided to visit, purely because it's the bigger one in Wellington. The one in the central business district is quite small in comparison. So I was quite interested to sort of see how this shosha experience would compare to how I last went into shosha in the central business district. I wasn't very impressed with the city one, but the Lower Hutt one, it definitely sort of.
It's a huge shop. I was blown away. So when we first encountered it, when we were like walking down the street, when we were running around just shenaniganing on the street, as we do when we're together. And we discovered it, not realising that there was a new one in Lower Hutt. And I think new as in it's been there for 6 months, but when I was last home in the hut, I hadn't seen it, so it was new to us. So we went and then got dinner and came back, and the place had shut. So we had to postpone our adventure for another day, which became today. And looking through the window, so there's like, we've got a photo. We might put it up on our Ohm Kiwis page, actually, not just in our New Zealand vape groups, just so you guys can see what we're on about later. So we took a photo. Yes, we had permission for selfies. Yes, we had permission to vape in the shop. Sean, for context, to everybody, we were given a challenge to set the smoke alarms off in the shop. The guy working there was pretty tentative in helping us out, and he was really conscious of us not going past a certain area in the shop where the sensors were. However, looking at me and Megan's vape, Megan and I, sorry Phil, every time, man. Megan and I were in the shop, and our vape wasn't dissipating. So yes, had we had been able to stand at the front of the shop, we could have vaped it out completely, and we could have set the alarms off. I want to put a size context of the shop out there for people so that they know we went vaping in a bloody closet.
It was big, like. Where they had their counter set up, it was set up like directly in the centre, like an island. So they had shelving that went around where they serve the customers, so they can kind of, I guess, like walk the island like around it. So they were inside of that, and there was like a large enough space for them, I guess, if they were to get really, really busy, for instance, that they could quite easily have a number of staff in there manning it. At the when we went and visited, there was two people manning the store, but I think if they had a really, really busy day, they could easily put like 6 people in there as staff and still have enough room to like move around. And yeah, and the shop and everything was, kind of everything was on the walls and cabinets. It was very, very well presented, very well presented.
So we didn't go in there to be dicks. We didn't go in there to be all stealth and we really want to like pick you guys apart and stuff, because nobody wants to be that guy. So we went in there as legitimate customers, genuinely interested at the products on their shelf, knowing full well the stigma around this particular business. I, however, haven't ever been in any shisha shop across the country before. I'm not sure if you have.
Yeah, I've been in the city one.
You've been in the city one.
Only the
so
just one.
I had nothing to compare to, so I was just straight out wanted to suss it all out. And yeah, really impressed. I know of past prices that they've had on the shelf. Was really impressed at the drop in some of the prices. Can't say all of them. And they now label such things that are clone and authentic, and they're priced accordingly. Albeit still a little bit overpriced. Again, with the generalizing, because specific products were ridiculously priced, but some were quite reasonable, I thought. For
like
a shop that has overheads, totally.
Like they have some clone mech mods in there, and they were sort of like generally priced around the $60 to $70 mark. And they did specifically state that they were clones, like they did say on there that they were clone items. I think the ones that kind of made me go, oh, that's a bit on the steep side, was when we were kind of looking at tanks. Tanks were like $100, $100 for a TFV4 Mini. I was like, we've got the TFV12 coming out soon, so it's kind of old technology, the old TFV4s. But yeah, $100 for that was like, and but I did ask, because I still own a TFV4 Mini. That is like, oh, do they stock the replacement coils? They do, in individual packaging.
Did you see how much they did?
I think I saw one, like I was specifically looking for the Clapton ones, so the CLP2s, and I think I found the ones for the micro TFV4, and I think they came out to about $6 each, and I think when you're looking at the bigger size ones, which kind of go with the TFV4 and the TFV4 minis, those went for about $13, $14 each.
Some things were still up there in price, but okay, they are in the mainstream market. They do have overheads for a shop. They've got staff, they've got rent to pay, they've got all those, plus they've got profit. So like, we've got to be realistic about those of our online vendors, those that of our vape vendors that we endorse, that have been in, also have said overheads, and the difference between those two that we can compare to this mainstream company. So like I was saying, generalizing across the board, I was actually quite impressed with some of the pricing. Yes, sections of it were still ridiculous. However, from past being told of what products are being sold at what in some of their shops across the country, those prices have been dropped. Like, just throwing it out there as an example, somebody else is going to have to do the conversion into American, but a Stingray or a Nemesis clone mech, $60. Now, for me, and again, somebody out there is going to have to do conversion. As you can see, me and Megan aren't on the keyboard. I can reach in and type in a couple of things, But we're watching chat. We can see you guys. We're keeping an eye on you, but it's just a little bit awkward for us to actually type in chat right now.
Yep.
And we're both on my laptop. Megan's is shut down. So any questions, guys, you'll have to just wait for that delay for our answer if you guys throw it up. I lost my train of thought. Oh, MIC-mod. Nemi and a Stingray is actually a really good generic example because most people know what the product is and they know the comparison between the authentic and the clone. So a lot of people buy said product off Fast Tech or 3F. Going to pick on those two sites just as an example because of their popularity. So you do the conversion into New Zealand for that, and then sometimes depending if you pay that little bit extra for air freight or the faster shipping, it's approximately the same cost for me to walk into that shop and spend that $60 to walk out for that product, approximately, give or take a few dollars, and of course that's going to depend on the quality of clone you're buying too. You got Kind Bright right through down to Tobacco, right through down to the piece of crap, the piece of that crap. So being the overhead, being the profit, all of those things, if I knew my MEC, if I were looking for a MEC, if I just wanted to walk out of a shop right now with one, I'd pay that. I don't see that as an issue. In our community here in New Zealand, separate of the prices, let's leave that particular topic over there. Our biggest issue with this particular mainstream shop has been the lack of education to their staff selling these products being a safety issue, especially the MEC stuff. You want to be educated for your own safety when you go into a shop to buy these things. Now,
if we had more time in that shop,
we would have rolled them hard.
I would have definitely asked questions in terms of like, what kind of safety precautions do I need in order to use this mechanical mod device safely? I wouldn't necessarily put it in those words. I probably would have dumbed it down to the point where as if I was like pretending like I didn't know what I was talking about. But yeah, we were running really late, like much like you guys. Like, we showed up late. We were meant to be on at 5:30 and it didn't happen. We were a bit late.
And we pushed that time back knowing that we had traffic to get through. Traffic still held us up. So again, with the apologies, we could have actually spent a lot of time in there. Now, so this has been our past community main issue with this company. The other day when we discovered the shop in Lower Hutt, we took a selfie outside. We took our little, oh my god, it's Shosha type. Yeah, we did that in one of our local vape groups. Everybody loved it. That post went off. I'm actually really surprised. I'm really surprised how viral that is. It's just a photo of us standing underneath the street sign. Now, and that's also when the Set the Smoke Alarms challenge was laid to us. Set off the smoke alarms. Now, so we're going into the shop with preconceptions, and well, I am, because I've never walked into one before. So I know of people going in, asking questions, knowing vape knowledge, wanting to know what their staff knew, wanting to know the feedback they're going to get. Megan's even been into the one in town, and I know, now because you mentioned it, I remember the story. You talking about the RDA and the deck size and you with the building, and you want to, if they're selling the product, you want to have that conversation where that person knows what the fuck they're on about. Really, if it's a product in their shop, they should know that product. Correct? I think so.
Yeah. Like I was mentioning, with that particular story when I'd gone in, I was asking about the build space and the post hole sizes. Like I wanted to know. A lot of the RDAs that they stock are made by UD, so they stock a lot of those ones. They don't have a very broad range of rebuildable devices, which is fine, but I wanted to know about this one particular one. Now, right now, I cannot think off the top of my head what this product was called, but yeah, I wanted to have a look at it. So the guy pulled it out and opened it up for me, and I said, oh, no thank you, I'm not interested in that. The post holes in that aren't big enough. And he tried to sort of say that it's got plenty of build space for your coils. I'd gone in, like, at the time when I went in, I was using the Snowwolf. The Snowwolf box mod, as well as the Twisted Messes. Funnily enough,
Twisted Messes, wasn't
but
it?
this was the exact setup that I had. I walked in with this, exactly this, and I said the post holes aren't big enough. This RDA here has big post holes. Like, I took off the top cap, showed the size of the post holes. I went, these have like nearly 3mm diameter freaking post holes. I can put big builds in this. Much like what's in here now, I cannot build this and put it into that. That's what I'm talking about. And he was like, oh, okay. His knowledge wasn't quite up there. And I think at the time when I had gone in, I mean, we're looking at about maybe over a year ago when I'd gone in. Yes, it was definitely more than a year ago. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed with the whole service experience. I mean, I asked him a few other questions about some items that he had in the shop, and he was able to give me some information on some of like the smaller products, like the little shisha pens, for instance. So they had a thing set up there, and yeah, and I kind of cracked a joke at him about something, and yeah, and he answered it professionally, but it was like, I was having a joke, dude. I wasn't asking you anything. But yeah, I wasn't overly thrilled with my experience when I went into Shosha the first time. So I kind of avoided them ever since. And yeah, so to go into the Lower Hutt branch and actually talk to a guy who actually had like a reasonable amount of knowledge for the products that we were talking to him about.
That's where I was going with this. For our preconceptions in the past of many of our community who dealt with being into these shops across the country, the issue was the lack of knowledge in the staff. The issue was the lack of sharing safety information about, what is that autofocus?
Yeah, it's because the light keeps changing.
Sharing that safety information when a new person is buying a product, not necessarily a newbie, and I'm thinking of the mixed stuff when I say that. Now, so that's a valid concern, and I'm sure you can all understand that that is a valid concern. So when we posted that picture in one of our main vape groups the other day, on the thread, there were people saying, hey, I've actually been into a shop recently and had a great experience with staff.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is exactly what we wanted to hear, that they are listening to people, that they are recognizing the safety issues, especially with our legislation coming up to be assessed, hopefully put through later this year. Sorry guys, Megan's going to deal with that autofocus. This was great information to be hearing, that they're educating or at least employing staff that know something, are knowledgeable to sell the shit, pretty much. So when we go in there today, you know, like we're just going there, we're milling around, being sort of loud customers. I'm out louding all of my thoughts and comments as we go around all the shelves.
Well, and we weren't really that loud. We were kind of just muttering them sort of like under the breath. But every time we sort of saw something that was interesting or beautiful, and
you'll know that I can get loud.
But we were kind of like, you know, that's a bit pricey, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that stuff, yeah. But you know, when we got around to the vape gear, and we're like, oh yeah, egos, oh yeah, and they got the mix, and oh, we got some boxes, and look at the tanks they got, you know, like out louding all of our thoughts, sort of thing. So when we got approached by staff, and we got approached a couple of times, you know, and it was only the second time really that we were like, actually, hey, yeah, we do have some questions. The first time we were like, no, we're just looking around, sussing what we got. He could tell we knew these products on the shelf, and I was just straight up, and I was like, can we vape in the shop? And we both pull out our boxes, and you should have seen his eyes light up. God, that was funny. And so like, yeah, we know exactly what we're talking about. But I got the idea, maybe not to the same extent as us, sure, but he knew some knowledge. He knew a degree. He instantly recognised both of us had RDAs that we build, and that these aren't boxes that they're stocking in their shop. You know, he recognised we're at hobbyist level, which is great.
We'll try and lean in a little bit closer.
We'll just lean in a bit, guys, and yell at you. Sorry, my mic is right up. We're about almost a meter away from my microphone, so we're just gonna have to yell a bit at you. My mic is at full volume. So yeah, we were pleased that the staff member that we were speaking to, let us vape without us having to be dicks, engaged in conversation with us. We were asking about products on the shelf. He was telling us, Megan, hey, have you got the calls for that? He knew exactly where they were, straight up. Yep, we got clip. You know, like he knew what was on the shelf. Awesome.
Yeah.
They're stocking quite a range of American juices, which I was also really pleased to see. I'm not going to drop any labels, any names, because that's sort of irrelevant. You know, there's quite a few people stocking American stuff, but it was good to see range.
Yes, a broad range, not just their own juices.
Yeah.
Because like a number of people know that a lot of their juices are quite. Yeah. So it was good to sort of see that they also stocked like a reasonably good range of American stuff. It was great.
Lemmy, you're just making me grin over here, darling. I'm not going to repeat your comments, honey, but you're making me grin, I tell you. Just pause. I want to do a couple more shout-outs. We've got Chubby in the house, one of our crew of Vapers TV that we used to broadcast with. Graham, good to see you. He's White Rabbit Vapes here in New Zealand. And who else did I miss earlier? I think I missed Greg. Mr. Greg, I can't see you right now, but I think I saw you earlier. Now, who else has popped in? Kurt came in. Hey guys, loves to you all. Thank you for coming to hang.
If only I had them like available to me right now, I would like. I had no idea who owned like White Rabbit Vapes. It's so good to know that.
But do you not know it's Graham?
No, I had no clue.
Shit, she never asked Graham. I could have told her.
I mean, it's like, yeah. So just I'm just doing a little like side off thing now that I know that Graham like owns White Rabbit Vapes. Right. Oh my god.
No, don't say that on air. And lol at me introducing you to 3F, darling. I think I've done that to a few people now, and it's a serious addiction. Watch yourself over there, honey. If I had the money, I'd be buying off 3F every week, bitch.
Nope, I've gone a little bit red. I can feel my face getting hot.
You're all good. Nobody heard it. Shh. So today's adventure. Okay. So we were challenged to set off smoke alarms. We were also by Sean, who has had to go and deal with his kids. He was in the chat just before. He also challenged us to do a secret stealth video. I wasn't comfortable with that because we weren't going in to expose this company in any way, shape, or form. We were just generally curious as to product and staff knowledge, effectively.
Yeah.
So I wasn't comfortable with any sort of video. However, we were allowed to vape in the shop. I got to try some samplers of a couple of juices, one of their own self-brand, in-house brand, whatever you call that,
yeah,
and an American one, which I'm also not going to say the name of. They were lovely. I was actually quite impressed. And then he let us take selfies in the shop. So up on the Ohm Kiwis page, just to go along with the story so you guys can even see what we're on about, we're going to post 2 photos to our Ohm Kiwis page, not just in our local New Zealand vape groups where you guys overseas can't see it, but one of those us vaping selfie in the shop with vape gear behind us, and the other one is beside the biggest hookah pipe setup, multiple people hookah pipe setup I have ever seen. It's taller than the both of us.
Yes, I mean we stand roughly about 5'6".
Oh my god!
And the bowl, I think the bowl
was above our heads, and then there was the piece at the top, and this thing was huge, man. And yeah, so we took this photo. It was also $2,000. Although a huge piece of equipment, and if you were going to pay that, it would be a centerpiece in your lounge if you were purchasing.
Yeah, I mean, when we walked in and we saw it, and we were like, "Whoa, this thing is huge!" And we saw one of the guys kind of look over at us, and we, "Is this a fully functional hookah setup?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Wow, wow!" So it was quite impressive. and intimidating at the same time.
Just to go on with your comment there, Yeti, I can't really comment. You know, I've only tried a handful of American juices, and we also know that you guys have your own opinion. What's this? What is this?
No
Oh,
forcing out or anything.
I see what you're up to there. However, you know, like, everybody's going to have a different opinion. It's a different palate. It's the same thing I say when we do juice reviews as well. You know, just because we like it, I like it, Megan might not like it. Just because we like it, you're not going to like it. You know, like, everyone's got a different palate. So, yes, I agree with all those names you've dropped out there in the chat box, honey. Although I haven't tried 2 of them. Sorry, even 3 of those names that you've dropped.
Yeah.
The one couple that I had today were fine, perfectly vapeable. I'm not saying I purchased them, perfectly vapeable. You know, that wasn't the goal why we were there today.
I don't know if I would actually like purchase them either. They're a bit on the steep side. Price-wise.
I know for a fact for the products that they have in stock, I can get them from some of you guys directly in the States cheaper. So, you know, that's relevant really. But it was good to see the range. I was, all in all, for the, how long were we there, about an hour?
Roughly about that, 45 minutes to an hour.
All in all, the experience, I'm impressed because I was expecting worse and I got more than my expectation. I can't say it was an amazing time. I can't say it blew me out of the water, but I'm impressed because I expected far less and got more than the expectation, which is great.
Yeah. So for those, I was impressed by those as well, but I was also impressed by the setup. The setup of the shop. Yeah. The shop was,
the layout was actually amazing.
So that was our little jam.
That was today's little adventure.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I say, if you want to have a little bit of an elaboration to our wee ramble just there, we'll chuck those photos up on our Ohm Kiwis page so that you guys can see them, and that will just, you know, match up with the story, and you guys can see a little bit of what we get up to today. Even, actually, because I know we didn't, I might put up the original first photo that triggered today's adventure as well, because then it'll have a little flow.
Yes.
And then you guys can
context.
Yeah, then you guys can laugh at the faces and that went on in the first photo.
Yes. What was next?
You can talk about Welly Vape Day now. Last weekend.
Last weekend? That was on Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday just gone.
Last weekend. Yeah, this topic's all her.
Okay. So I attended the Wellington Vape Day, which was on Saturday. It kind of coincided with our Wellington anniversary weekend, and I was a bit nervous attending. There's only a handful of people that know the background behind that as to why I was nervous about attending. So I was nervous, and at the same time I was a bit apprehensive as well. And I was kind of glad that I was convinced. It's like, don't let others bring your day down, and enjoy the day. And it had started at midday. I didn't show up until after 2 o'clock. I think it was more closer to 3 was when I arrived.
That's about when you were texting me.
I was waiting for my father. I thought that I could go in and have my flatmate drop me off, and I'd be there quite early, like from the start. Every vape day that I've been to so far, I generally tried to have been there from the beginning. Auckland was a slight exception. I could have been there right from the very start, but we went out for breakfast.
Just because you mentioned a goon, Lemmy.
Yeah, we went for breakfast. There were a number of us that went. So what is it, the Ohm Iwi? We went to breakfast, and then showed up a little bit later. Both Wellington Vape Days, like this year's one and last year's, I was late. Things going on, and I thought, I'd eventually get there. And but it was good to sort of like see the amount of support that I had behind me when I arrived. I was immediately approached by the organizer and sort of said, hey, look, I know things are a little bit tense, and we're going to try and sort of like make sure that everything's okay. And if you need anything, it's like, we have your back. And I was like, okay, thank you. And it was a very interesting start to the vape day.
I was going to try and turn around.
But yeah, it turned out to be a pretty good day. I got to catch up with a number of people that I hadn't seen since like the last vape day, which was in Auckland, which was good. And I got to hang out with Maya from Vaporium NZ in Dunedin, which was great. I always love catching up with her. She makes me laugh. And being able to see the HB Vapor guys in Palmerston North, it was always good to sort of like catch up with them, as well as like the regular Wellingtonians that I tend to hang out with there as well. So I got to see Mr. Potato Head, Robert Gravier, Ken Joyce. There were a lot of people that I got to catch up with, even if it was brief. That was the only thing that made the Wellington Vape Day for me, was meeting like the people that I hadn't seen for a while again. I got to see like a few of the stalls before the rain decided to come down. We had our vape day outside. It's hard to find an event in Wellington that will allow vaping indoors, because at the moment our Wellington City Council are trying to, or are currently pushing for a smoke-free as well as vape-free city, especially in a lot of the public areas, which kind of sucks. So it makes trying to find venues to be able to hold our events indoors. So it meant that a lot of the competitions and stuff couldn't happen. I mean, which wasn't a big deal for me because I wasn't competing in any. So yeah, it just became a very relaxed, casual meetup, so to speak. But it was a good day. And then after the Wellington Vape Day, I came home and Mox came over and we got to hang out and chill, have a few laughs, and we were up for stupid o'clock.
Now y'all know that I'm a bit of a vampire, a bit of an insomniac that lives on the other side of the daylight hours. I kept this one up to bloody dawn, to the point that we went and got breakfast before I went home.
It was like we come back with like breakfast, ate the breakfast, and it was like had like a little bit more talk, listened to some more music, and then she had to go back to Lower Hutt. But yeah, as soon as I like closed that door, and it was like went to my room, and the second my head hit the pillow, I was out.
Keep it new. Welcome to my hours, girlfriend. Shout out going out to Danny, Dee's roster out in the chat box. Hey girl, she's one of our fellow New Zealand dolls, just the same as Jackie out there at iVape Australia is one of our Oz dolls. So just shout out to her. And the other half, I see Van. How you doing, baby? Van and Danny are both NS Vape as well, which you guys might remember from our last two shows at the end of last year. They were our sponsor. And yay, just on that note, just completely sidetracking. On that note, yay to Byron over there in the States. He's gotten his mail. So we waited, just to put it in context for you guys, we waited until after the Christmas crazy with Post. Even though he won that prize on our last show of the year, when was that? That was 2 weeks prior to Christmas. We actually waited till this new year, after all the crazy and holiday period, to be done before I sent it to the States, because I would have been just devastated if that mail didn't make it.
Yeah.
It's made it. He's got it. I hope you're loving it, Byron. And Danny and Van are out there in the chat box, and I will let you guys know the feedback from him. But Byron, thank you very much for putting your prize one up on the Ohm Kiwis page. We appreciate just the little effort that you guys received the prize, and hey, you've got vape mail type stuff. So just on that note, yeah. Thank you. What else is going on out here in chat? Oh, well, just to remind you guys, we are keeping an eye on you guys out there in the chat box, even though we're not typing too hard out. Oh, and I went and moved the page, didn't I? What's holy shit? What you doing, Van? What did we do now? What did we do now? We're always getting ourselves in trouble. What does this mean?
I was thinking that maybe he was reacting to the vampire hours. I don't know.
Oh, this is possible. Van, you know better. You know I'm a vamp. So yeah, Welly Vape Day happened. Here's my 2 cents on it. I was 10 minutes down the road the whole day, knowing, yes, that it was going on, knowing that due to some, I'm going to get bitchy now, complete and utter control, egotistical fucking wankers, made a drama about me attending. I was there, highly upset that I couldn't be with my Robin on the day. And just to put it in context, the first vape event in New Zealand of significance, separate of any casual, local, regional meets, that I haven't attended.
Yeah,
it's somebody else's hand. So I hope you guys can feel just how fucking upset I am about that. Not that it's anything to do with you guys and you can't do anything about it, but can I just say, fuck vape community drama and other people's bullshit pushing their goddamn it agendas on other people. And that's about all I'm going to say, otherwise I'll get really upset.
Yes. Yeah, I was highly pissed off about it as well. I mean, I'd had like a couple of people ask, and it's like, well, Mox isn't here. And it's like, yeah, there's a story that goes with that. And I went, and it's like, oh, could she not make it? And it's like, well, oddly enough, she's in Wellington.
Down the road.
And it's like, oh, shit. Because she's in Wellington. It's like, yeah, and what makes it worse, she's in Lower Hutt as well. And they're like, oh. Yeah, so Lower Hutt was the location of the Wellington Vape Day.
And it's also where my sister lives and where I spend a third of the year. Yep. Go figure. And even more context, because it's absolutely not relevant to you guys, but even more context, the fucker didn't even show up to Vape Day. Made such an issue about me going, and me apparently upsetting people of the community just by my presence of existing in their space, and he didn't even turn up. Oh yeah, I now know who it was. I ain't gonna say though. But okay, enough of that. Next topic.
What do we have next? Clouds?
No, yeah, I'm just going to have a wee vape for a second just after that. If you guys have got any questions, if there's anything you guys want us to talk about. Because as you can tell, until I get home again, our proper regime for our shows for the year hasn't quite kicked in yet. Obviously, this is another cash one, just like our first one for the year. Yes, we're still vaping on the same boxes that we had last week. We're going to be vaping on these for a while, I think. I have got my sexy D-box that I call Phoenix with me as well. But it's so pretty. I love this baby. I've gone through so many batteries with that because it's only a single battery, 75 watt mod. And but yeah, today we're hustling because dolls hustle good.
Female is another. No, that's diva. I'm not a diva.
I know, I ain't no diva.
I ain't diva.
No matter what fuckers want to say about me, I ain't no goddamn diva. I just got opinions, yo, and I can be loud about it. But that's what makes me a great advocate. You guys are hearing me on the other side of the world, aren't you? Just catch it up on the chat here. Oh, funny.
Yeah, Yeti, that's why you weren't there. You were boycotting it.
On that note, just randomly, even though I said topic over, but there were some people, just to add some sugar on it, there were some people who did boycott because I wasn't going to be there. So that is the only sugar to that whole incident. But I know that now. I didn't know that at the time. I've found out lots of information in the last 5 days since the event. 4 days since the event. I found out quite a bit. But onwards and upwards, because fuck 'em. And I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, the fucking fuck up. I ain't going nowhere. And bring on Tauranga Vape Day, which is our next big one.
Yep, and we'll actually be attending this together. And we're emceeing the Tauranga Vape Day with Cameron
one half of the vaping area. Yeah, you guys know who Cam is.
Yeah.
My little rugrat cousin riding my tailcoat. Yeah, I
So
said
is.
that live.
So.
Yes. Not going to elaborate on that right now. However, we will be at Tauranga Vape Day. And yeah, we'll be emceeing the day. There'll be competitions. It'll be barrel of laughs. Our aim, and I say our, as in all of the community involved, or who will be at Tauranga, is to make it an amazing day, a big event, a good day, and one that can hopefully go on the books, that's not the right word. On the calendar is marked as a bloody awesome event, like we want to make a stand with it. I'm not saying that there's been anything wrong with prior events. They all are what they are. They all have had their own standing, and each event is going to build up and be different and bigger than the last, and everybody's competing, and we want to make our own bigger and better, and that's going to happen every time with all the crew. So this next one is going to be bigger and better because that's the next one coming up, and we're trying to beat the last ones, so we're always trying to outdo ourselves. Our community is stupidly competitive in that aspect.
Yes, it is.
Why have so many egos reign supreme in Vape life? Like, did y'all have an ego transplant when you decided to start vaping? Sorry, I'm just what? There's so much bullshit that other people created, and I'm gonna get sexist here, even though it is not entirely just the males. But my God, that testosterone ego, when y'all get competitive, goddamn.
Yeah. It's quite funny watching it, especially when you see it start to unfold. It's like, okay, it's one of those stick measuring competitions all over again.
And that's where I come in and go, well, fuck you, a lot of yous, my dick's bigger than all of yous.
Yes.
Meg's clouds are bigger, but I'll swing it harder, baby. Oh, fuck, did I just say that?
Oh, good grief. Oh, I'm just seeing Lemmy's comment there. See, I would love to be able to make it to any sort of vape event in the US.
Oh, you guys know.
That
all
would be
y'all
amazing.
know. If I had the means, I would come and hang with you guys and be at every goddamn vape event with
In a
fucking lot of
heartbeat.
yous.
In a heartbeat.
You know, we love you guys in the States. I love, actually, I'm not just specific to the US, I love all of you guys who give a fuck about supporting us. I started the show with my girl here to bridge that gap between New Zealand and the rest of the world. I like to think we're doing okay at exactly that, because we didn't come on YouTube to be reviewers, we didn't come on YouTube to be famous, we didn't come on YouTube to do anything but talk advocacy for the cause, get the word out there, and bring New Zealand to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And go, hey world, New Zealand exists over here. Yo, what up?
It's like, hey, we're vapors too. Can we chill out with you guys?
Yeah, we love you guys.
That was pretty much how it kind of went. It was more like, I guess, introducing the world to our vaping experience. I guess what we do here in New Zealand is kind of what we wanted to try and broadcast and portray to the rest of the world. Here we have vaping. These are currently our issues. Yeah, I saw that.
Love you, Greg.
And it was just to give you guys an insight as to what the vaping industry and community is like here in New Zealand. I mean, much like when we first started doing the show, a lot of people were shocked that we have these nicotine laws, that we can't purchase e-juices with nicotine in it. So, I mean,
sorry, we're laughing at the chat box.
Yeah. So we're currently trying to work on legislation for things like that, and it's a work in progress. But we're hoping that it will change, hopefully soon. But
Yeti, you always know you're welcome on my couch, darling. I have a fold-out double bed. Always. Don't even doubt it. You know you got to be in New Zealand. Don't even doubt it, huh?
It's like if you can't get to Mox, there's also me. It's like, heck, I'm right by one of our like major airports. Okay, I'm not that close, but I'm close enough.
Yeah, but I don't have a child in the house. I can vape anywhere I bloody want. That's the only difference.
Oh, there might be a child in the house, but I mean, it's like, there's no big thing like vaping outside on.
I like that hashtag, Lemmy. Hashtag clouds around the globe. Let's use that on IG. I like that.
I like that one too. Oops, my water jug's not big enough.
I'm actually really impressed that I'm not embarrassing myself entirely and that some O's are coming out of my mouth right now. Great. Fantastic. They're not hers though, just because I said that. Just because I said that. So yeah, Tauranga Vape Day is coming up. Now we're trying to get some internationals to come and hang with us in New Zealand. Trying. It has not been confirmed. So, and I can't say a name because there has not been confirmation. We're possibly going to have to do a little bit of fundraising to bring them over. Hoping it can happen.
Fingers, toes.
We will drop that name as soon as it's confirmed. But we are trying to have international presence beyond local presence at the Vape Day to come and hang with our community and just go, what up, New Zealand? Which would be amazing. And you best believe there'll be live streaming and things happening on Facebook if they turn up.
I'm just gonna follow you, bro.
Yeah. I'm sorry if you're feeling a bit camera shy right now, but this camera is gonna be following you. And yeah, so we will let you guys know when that is confirmed, but we are trying to make it a little bit bigger than the other events that have been prior.
Wow, it's
I know. If Yeti shows up, there will be a child in the house. You're not wrong, Lemmy, but you know.
Mox says O face.
Yes? Yes, being that I'm blowing O's, that would be the case. It's noted. Alright, Yeti, it's noted. I hear ya.
Ooh, dry. Surprised I didn't get a dry hit.
So, yes, we are rambling a bit today because it's been a little bit of a chaotic week. Side note, okay, so just put a little bit of context in it. Because those of you that aren't in an admin type capacity in the vape community, wherever they might be, might not understand the level of background bullshit that has to be sorted out often. Anywhere, in any corner of the community, across the globe, there's always bullshit and there's always shit to be sorted. I am currently in complaint process, I should say, with one of our media outlets even.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there was, so last weekend just gone, same weekend as Wellington Vape Day, there was a car event back home in the South Island in my region. Now, so this was brought to my attention because it's on my home turf, and I just happened to be away, so I wasn't around to know of the event prior.
That particular article to your attention.
Yeah, but it wasn't mentioned to me prior by any local crew, and which pisses me off a little bit. But possibly they knew how I would react to it. So, an article was released about a car event, particularly boy racers and their antics. A lot of boy racers descended on the Nelson region over the weekend, and we're talking about 130 to 150 cars, somewhere around there. So, you know, a decent gathering across the top of the south. And they're effectively just trying to do their thing in their community. Meet up, have their burnouts, do their skids, do their socialising, do their young boy racer thing if that's your vibe, you know? Sweet. Maybe not so much. They, in the past, have used a term that the media have jumped on and are using as a current, which particularly irked me, leading me to go down the complaint process with the media outlet. To do burnouts or to do a skid, this term has been called a vape sesh. I'm sorry. You burn rubber. You burn your tires. You are emitting smoke. I disagree with this term being used, attaching boy racer issues, which on the wider mainstream society, they are an issue in New Zealand because there aren't legal spaces where they can go and do these events, which is its own problem in itself. However, attaching the vape industry with our legislation coming up in New Zealand and all the research and all of that prior build-up to that happening in Parliament later this year, we don't need that industry of issue in society being attached to our vape industry when we're trying so hard to be heard, to be listened to be recognised, to be taken bloody seriously. So I was in contact with the organiser of said event, so I have direct information from the organiser and have been in direct contact with the newsroom of said media outlet, and I'm not going to say their name. And the newsroom came back to me from the original editor who actually wrote the article saying, the boy racers use this term, we will not retract, we will not edit this article. So I'm in process to lay a formal complaint with the editor of the entire media company that actually owns this particular media outlet. So just an example of bullshit in the background, people like myself who have a bit of fire in them, bit of real fire for the cause, for our industry, the extra work that gets done in the background that nobody sort of knows about until the end result happens. But there's so much build-up and work in the background that happens. Just on a little thing like that, misuse of a term or an attachment of a term from one industry to another where there needs to be no attachment at all. And like I say, in contact with the organiser, and he gets it. Like I say, it was a past term used for 5 minutes, sort of like a little joke with them. You know, they're young, they joke around. Some of them are vapors, which is sort of how that came about. But that's separate of them using the term vape sesh for burnouts and skids. And they recognise that and don't use the term anymore, but it's the media holding on to it and just, yeah, you know, with the seriousness of that connotation, I ain't going to let that one lie. So that's been going on for me this week. And then, you know, we get bullshit on the internet. Oh, ye lovely internet. How we love you so. Some days.
Oh, no.
The misunderstandings that can happen between folk, the misinterpretation of text, the written word, or even words in a goddamn cloud video. I've had to do a bit of serious damage repair this week between the New Zealand and Australian communities. Yes. Y'all need to sort your shit out, because I shouldn't have to be cleaning up your fucking mess. Hey? Love yous, but what the fuck? Okay.
Yes.
Some of you are going to see this. Some of you will. Okay, maybe I put myself in the position to be able to sort these things out. I don't know. The fact that I know so many people across the globe, specifically our New Zealand and Australian communities, the links, I'm friends with a lot of the admins across the Australian networks as well, the vape groups in Australia. I'm connected to several Australian vendors, and of course, y'all know Bogan out there, you know, he's one of the most famous Australians in vape world. Vape life, vape life. Yeah, because of those connections, because of who I know, where I can go, hey, what the fuck's that going on over there? Or, hey, can I help in any way with this? Well, goddamn, I ended up spending hours, and there's a couple out there in the chat box that were there on the evening, as well as Megan, aware of the drama, aware of how much damage control I was actually doing over a misunderstanding. Again,
misunderstanding, misinterpretation, all of that sort of stuff, and just jumping to conclusions. That was a big one as well, jumping to conclusions. It was a big misunderstanding. So yeah, a lot of damage control needed to be done on both sides of New Zealand and Australia to try and straighten things out. But whether it's 100% sorted,
at the minute, it's as sorted as it can be. And to be quite honest, you guys in Australia know how much I love you. You really do. Yeah. But some of you Aussies, get your fucking heads out of your asses and stop thinking it's all about you. Because sometimes it's about the wider community, not just your ego and selfishness. And I am pinpointing that on the Aussies because it was an Australian that caused this, blaming it on us, and I had to sort it out. Now, do you think that's fair? I don't. I wasn't part of it. I just happened to see it go down and went, hold up, wait a minute. Hey now. I messaged someone in Australia going, what's going on at your end? And was able to do something about it. Now,
yeah, I did the same. I messaged the same person going, hey, I just wanted to give you like a heads up. This is this big misunderstanding, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no. I'm trying to sort it right now, etc., etc., etc. And, yeah.
Please, now this goes out globally, this statement, please. If y'all want to stir shit, if y'all want to start a drama, if y'all want to open your mouths and be straight up and blatant and get on your high horse, get your facts straight first. That goes for anyone, anywhere in the goddamn world. And y'all know how that drama can go. Any drama, any community, but you know, we're obviously relating this. Please, I don't want to have to do that again anytime soon. It really took a lot out of me and broke my heart because I was watching the bond between our two countries be broken in front of my eyes over a misunderstanding. But thank fuck I was around, and Megan as well, because like she said, we were both doing some messaging. But thank fuck we were around to have stopped that before it got any worse.
Yeah. And because it totally could have gotten much, much worse had we not been up at the time when it got bad.
Oh, bless. Yeah, and because of the time difference as well. Thank fuck for my vampire hours because Australia's behind us and this went on in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they're a few hours behind. Depending on where they are in Australia, it could be anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. So it was kind of good that we were able to try and get it at least somewhat under control and hopefully get everything all cleared up.
Now, I can't help but think about some of the insane drama that has gone down for you guys in the States in the last year that I've also been witness to. And again, my statement stands. If y'all want to kick up a stink, keep your shit straight first. Please. Then at least be armed with information and you can go, hey, I'm calling you out because blah, state your facts. Yeah. Not assumptions, not based on misunderstandings and gone and Chinese whispered. Are we not adults? Have I not said this a million times before? Do we need to go to a playground where someone just gets the shit kicked out of them and nothing gets resolved anyway? Adults talk it out. We have a conversation. Figure out what the problem is. You either fix it or you agree to disagree and you fucking move on. Right at this minute between New Zealand and Australia, I hope it is as resolved as it can be.
And that we can move forward.
And if any issue still comes about from it, Australia, get your fucking head out your ass. I love you guys. Let's sort it. Seriously. And
all I can do is make a face.
yeah, make your face, because my Aussie crew, you know how much I love you guys. You know how much I support you, how much I rep you guys. Both me and Megan are members of Ladies of Aussie Cloud Chasers, which is one of the Australian female groups, which stems from one of the larger groups, Aussie Cloud Chasers. Nobody needs no drama, y'all. Nobody needs this shit.
No, we've got bigger things to like worry about. We've got things that both countries are trying to fight for, and we need to work together. And it's like every now and again, it's like always. I mean, the two countries, we are competitive against each other. It happens because we are neighbours. But it's like we've got to be able to take a little bit of ribbing from each other and not blow it way out of context, because that's what happens. Got blown way out of context. Way out of context. And yeah, I mean, it's like as much as we give each other shit, we're always there for each other. Always. So I'm hoping that this particular little hiccup in
I
our
love
little
you, Greg.
community.
Sorry, I'm just reading the chat box.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'd like for us to be able to just continue on like how we have been for like the last few years. And
oh, here I am. Hey! I suddenly realised like how difficulty I was having reading the chat box and had the eyes on. And I don't quite look so tired when my glasses hide it. And yeah, I'll own that. I look tired because of the amount of drama I've had to deal with this week. It's been exhausting. Absolutely soul draining, exhausting. No one needs that. Let alone the amount of shit that gets thrown at me constantly.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate. Always. What the fuck is your issue with hating on me constantly? Yeah, I'm loud. Yep, I got an opinion. And what? So do lots of people.
Yeah.
I don't get it. You guys got a problem?
Just like that
How about you
typical,
come talk to me, eh?
Yeah, like that typical saying, you know, everyone's, it's like, what, opinions are like assholes, and everybody's got one.
I'm so glad my mama don't watch the show no more. She'd be horrified at how much I'm swearing these days. And I just don't give a fuck anymore. Because, you know, what's that hashtag? Hashtag keep it classy. Hashtag keep it real. You know us Kiwi, you know us Kiwi girls like to get real. Well, we like to get real.
So how long do we want to run this for?
Oh,
because I see that we're creeping up to 7 o'clock.
Hey, look at that. We were worried we wouldn't be able to do a show on a ramble. You know how I can talk.
We know how to ramble. Well, could I say you know how to ramble?
Yeah. We know how to talk.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Do we actually have anything else to say? I mean, yes.
I think we've covered everything from like the time that you've been here, which I think was what we were going to cover today.
It's been an eventful trip to Wellington, can I say the least. I am, for as much as I love Megan and I love being here, I'm sort of grateful that I won't be back for a couple of months. Because right at the minute,
she just wants to go home.
I had enough.
I don't blame you. I'd be exactly the same.
Not that shit stops when I get home.
Follows you like a bad smell. No matter where I go, the stink is still there. Goddamn smell.
Go on, Yeti, tell us your secret, darling. I want to know all your secrets. Oh, do I? Do I really? Funny, yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting. He's leaving us in suspense in the chat box. He's like, "Do you want to know a secret?"
Suspenseful pause.
Okay, so which is why we're waiting for that. So yeah, it's been an eventful for me week, an emotional week, because You guys know how much I give my heart and soul to Vape Life. So when I get shat on, when I get shit thrown at me, when the haters want to hate and get loud, I feel it. I feel it hard because I give my heart to this community. I've been here and immersed in it for almost 3 years. I've been publicly out here, not just on video on YouTube, but in the public New Zealand eye for a solid 2 years. Possibly even 2.5. It's getting a while now. You know, I'm tired. Just because my face is seen, my voice is heard, my name is seen everywhere, don't mean I don't feel it.
And then I feel it.
And to be quite honest, I don't even think half you bitches could handle what I go through.
I know I couldn't. I'd be a mess. I'd be curled up in a ball and I would disconnect everything.
Oh, I did that exactly last night. I can't even, and offline for hours, which is the first time I have done that in a very long time without being out in the bush, off grid. You know, offline by choice. Was odd, but I was heartbroken last night. That was a whole nother drama again. I'm not even going to go into that one. But this has been a very, very emotional week where the shit has been slung left, right, and centre. Whether slung at me or just at our community in general, the media article, I feel it. And I will fight for us every fucking time, no matter how many tears fall. The lives, our lives, all of your lives, our community, are our lives not worth saving? Are we not worth fighting for? Whether it's our own self-worth or whether it's someone like me and Megan and I, sorry, Phil, fighting for you, is it not worth it to have the fight happening full stop? And on that note, keep an eye on the Billion Lives crew. There's some big stuff happening this year. I've been in contact with Aaron. We will have him on the show very soon. Can't tell you a date yet because I have to tee it up with his schedule going around the world. But new stuff's happening with Billion Lives. Fresh stuff, big things, global big things. Keep an eye on those updates, whether you're on email or whether you're on their Facebook page. We will always support the Billion Lives crew, and you know, like what Aaron's doing, what that crew's doing, our involvement with the Billion Lives team just reinforces exactly what I just said about the fight happening and there always being someone to fight the fight. Whether you're feeling the fight and you to do it for yourself, or whether it's someone like us doing it for you. Do we not require support to get off our asses and to be vocal and loud for the sake of everybody else? Yeah, it's aimed at you, haters. What does the hate get you except more hate in return? Nobody needs that shit. Why? Just why? Your hate brings more questions than answers. Just why? Get over yourselves. I'm actually, for as unrelevant to vape products, all of that was very vape life relevant. And I apologise if a ramble from me is not what you wanted to hear on today's show, but it's a very real part of vape life. It's the drama and the bullshit. Yes, Kurt, of course you can have a shout out for your girlfriend. What's up, Vanessa?
Hi, Vanessa.
I feel the love from you guys who are in my corner. We appreciate the support that you guys give us. You know, I started this show for a reason. I brought my girl along with me so that I had someone who had my fucking back all of the time. And my God, does she what? Want this to be a good year for all of us. Right at the minute, started out pretty shit, to be quite honest. Let's change that, eh?
Let's make the rest of the year good.
Hope so.
Good. We want the rest of the year to just work out for everybody.
Across the
Everybody
globe.
concerned.
That means you guys in the States too. You stop your shit stirring, get over yourselves, and fucking man up and just vape on, eh?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll jump in fucking Fagan's Lounge and say that to a lot of yous too. Well, the lot of yous that hang out there, you know what I mean. Nobody needs the hate, nobody needs the drama, no matter what corner of the world you're in. Why don't we just vape? We're alive, we stopped smoking. Yes, even if you're still in transition or you're new to vaping, you will get there. The smoking will evade from your life. Albeit if you're replacing it with just vaping, or if your goal is to stop completely and not vape as well, whatevs. But let's be healthier us, and have an and have an awesome year, eh? Let's make it better. We're only a month into the new year, and already shit's got to be turned around. Let's sort it out, eh?
Agreed. I totally agree with that.
My God, that
The sun is peeking out again.
I'm suddenly very washed, girl. So if you hadn't realised, we're using Meg's HD camera, although you might not have realised because the stream's still a little bit shit and we're coming through pixelated, but we know you can hear us fine. Keep the show going. When we're going to wind up, it's sort of, that time. What are we talking about? We've rambled. What are we talking about, Greg? Are we keeping the show going? We will keep the show on air, keeping going throughout the year, yes, if that's what you're implying. But right now, I think maybe it's time that we left, and the next time you see us, I will be home. The streaming will probably still be just as shit as usual, because you guys know I live in the country in the middle of nowhere.
There hasn't been like a major complaint about like today's one, except for the sound, which was awesome.
Although I'm looking at the strength of our feed to YouTube, and it's shit.
And it's shit.
It's shit. So that just proves to me that ADSL to stream is shit, and fibre is the way to go. Unfortunately, unless I move house, I'm not going to get fibre at my house anytime soon. But Megan will have it soon, so we will possibly be doing a rearrangement where Megan will be broadcasting the show, then that she'll have fibre. And yeah, because I haven't shown her how to do this shit yet.
I don't know what I'm doing. She's done all the broadcasting. If it wasn't like her, it was Tom, and then it was like back to Mox again. So it's like I've never broadcast the show before, and I don't have all of the 100 dandy programs required to be able to do this.
Let's sort that out. That's no biggie.
But yeah, so with the sound that my phone just made, I think that was my flatmate saying that dinner was ready.
Yeah, I think it was too.
And I told Mox that when we were going to broadcast here, it's like, oh yeah, you can have dinner at my house, because every time we finish this the show, I either disappear and go have dinner, or I have dinner get brought to me. So. So yeah. Oh, she's moving.
I'm moving. Hi. I just wanted to do that once to actually see how big it was.
It's pretty
decent.
It's pretty decent.
So, you guys all know that Megan's got amazing clothes. Mine aren't that shit, even though they're less than hers. Just saying.
Steam exposure keeps changing. Come on, son, make up your mind. Do you want to be here or not?
The Ohm Kiwis aren't going anywhere, guys. So regardless of all the shit I'm going through, regardless of whatever bullshit drama that is happening in my world, in our Vape New Zealand world, Ohm Kiwis aren't going anywhere. Don't you worry about that, Greg.
I see, look, it hasn't even lagged, not even once.
Yay! Maybe the case, but we know we're still pixelated. So, yeah. Fiber's coming. It's coming.
It is coming.
Yeah, so we'll sort that out. One day, we hope this year, you might see us actually in HD.
And then they'll go, oh shit, that's what they look like now. I'm kidding.
Then they'll be like, oh, that's why Mox wears makeup.
Yes, we like to sort of poke fun at ourselves.
You guys know we're clowns. We like to clown around. But that's what keeps it real. Because, you know, half of life's a fucking joke, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if it was so serious, we'd be a depressed lot of people, you know? So I'm kind of glad. I'm glad that we can sort of, you know, you have that sense of humour and stuff about life or everything else in between. Because without that humour, we'd be a pretty damn boring bunch of people.
Wouldn't it though? In regard to your comment there, Kirk, we've shifted the time of our show. We're slightly later now, and we were late today, and I've had so much going on in the last couple of days that we didn't get the show posted out in time. So it ain't even a thing. We get the viewers when we get the viewers, and quite often a lot of our viewers are our New Zealand crew who watch the replays. So that ain't actually even a thing for us. And to be quite honest, I haven't been on any American shows this year for people to see that I'm back on the screen in full context. So I know I haven't been on a show this year yet.
Come to think of it, I don't think I have either.
We'll sort that out. You guys will see us around. You know you will. Those viewers always come when we've been on one of the bigger American shows. Ain't even a thing, you know. We're going to keep going if there's even one of you's watching. The replays will always be there.
Yeah.
If we can save one life with our bullshit rambles that come out of our mouth, although they're not bullshit that we're talking about, great.
We'll be
If we
happy
can
with
save
that.
one life, great. We can help one person convert. If we can provide information for one person to help with their gear, sweet. I'm happy with that. Because we ain't doing this to be famous, no matter what you haters think.
Shit just got real, son.
Hi, hi, hi. Alright, on that note, guys, we love you so much. Appreciate so much. And especially those of you out there in our chat box right now hanging. You would just cloud it up.
Try and move that out. Sorry.
Yeah, we're around. We'll be around. You'll see us. We'll be back next week. We will be back at the 5 o'clock time next week. That's New Zealand, 5 o'clock on a Wednesday. Hang on, let's see if I can remember it because I didn't do the times. This Tuesday night over there in the States. Hang on, I'm going to do it backwards. 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Pacific. There you go, I did it backwards.
Good for you. That was amazing.
Why? Because I remembered it.
Yes, because I never remember it. Ever. And I was the one that did the show post.
We'll be back next week, guys. After the fog. Project Fog is on every week. You guys know this. Chase the fog. Find that fog. Whose channel will it be on this week? We haven't been around this week. I haven't been around on YouTube this week because of my trip, so I don't even know who hosted the fog tonight. But every Tuesday night in the States, you guys can find us after the fog right here, my channel, every week. So come say hi next week. Tell your friends, them crazy Kiwi girls, they're hilarious.
They have the tendency to rant sometimes, but they're really awesome. No, I'm kidding.
No, I rant and ramble. You just agree with me.
Yes, Batman. Yes, Batman.
Alright, we love yous. Mwah. And we'll see you next week. Keep it real. Keep it foggy. Hey, stay classy, eh? Love you guys. Hang on, I better hit the stream stop, eh? We'll just keep going clouds until we run away. Okay, love yous.